Focus. Plan. Prepare. Yes guys, welcome to episode 14 of 119 days to go to London Marathon. Yes, and if this is one video that you're going to watch all the way through, I know some of you have been skipping through all the previous videos, but if there's one video that you need to watch all the way through, it's this one, and it's the one that you're going to want to share with everybody, so be sure to watch all the way through. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and hit that alarm bell. So let's get into what this is all about, because it's nitty gritty time. Yes guys, yes indeed. I don't know how you've all been getting on over the past week, but we're coming to that stage now. Just one more at the end of this particular week 14. So whilst this is coming out on Sunday of the end of week 13, for week 14 for you London marathoners, and I know that if you're doing Manchester it's a week before, and if you're doing Brighton it's even 2 weeks before that, so Brighton you're nearly there, because after this last big 1 week it's going to be taper time. So there's going to be that one thing that so many of you have been asking both online and offline. At parkruns you've been asking me, what's my pace? How do I calculate my marathon pace, race pace? How do I know what's good, bad or indifferent? That's what I'm going to go through right now in this video and give you the absolute nitty gritty of what works for me and hopefully could work for you too. Indeed everybody, yes, you know the drill. You would have seen my videos from the Knighton 20 miler where I ran at my marathon effort, and it was a fantastic event and fantastic effort, and for me it confirmed me the analytics, the details that I know that I can run at a particular pace. All things being equal, yes, we've got to train, prepare, taper and all that, but right now I know in my mind what pace I'm going to be, and I'm going to share with you what you can do on your last long run of how you can prepare too for your race pace and prepare that. Yeah, you know me guys, I like to keep things simple. So this is what you can do in terms of plan, prepare and focus for that race day strategy. So on your last long run, essentially all we have to do, I say all we have to do, is this. You already have in mind what your goal pace may be. So with that last long run, you're going to ease into the first few miles about 1 minute per mile off your race pace. You'll ease into that and then do between 5 to 10 miles at what you believe to be your goal marathon pace, and then ease off and finish whatever time distance you have for that particular long run. Make sense? Now that you've completed that, how do you feel at the end of it? Yeah? Do you have analytics? Do you have HR, monitor, statistics, information? If you do, have a look at those. And I've seen so many, and it really does depend what your fitness level is and so on and so forth, where the heart rate can determine whether it's good, bad or indifferent. But if you feel good, comfortable, then you've probably hit the right race pace. If you felt a bit strained, a bit hard, difficult, then you were probably going mildly too quick. Or maybe too very quick, who knows? Because we have two choices when it comes to marathon day. What are those two choices? Well, we can either go too fast or too slow. There is a third choice which some very good people can get right on, and that is start at the exact perfect pace and go even pace all the way through. But we leave that to the pros, yeah? For us novices, it can be one or the other, but it gives us two choices. If we go out too fast, come mile 20, you have no choice. It'll probably be a case of hanging on for dear life, and it could be painful. It's going to be painful enough running a marathon, but if you've gone off too fast, those last 6 miles, maybe even last 10 miles can really hurt. The other one is you go off too slow, which I did last year at Manchester Marathon with Kieran, and I bumped into Kieran along this very path only the other day. We were chatting that maybe we went too slow. But you have a choice at mile 20 if you've gone too slow. You can either pick up or hold that pace depending on how you feel. You will have that choice, and hopefully you won't hurt as much when you come into the latter stages, because for Kieran, whilst we all agree we probably did go a bit too slow the first 5k, maybe by not much, but in that last 400 meters he was able to put in a sprint of his life and to come in under 3 hours. A bit like what Tim Gross did at the Seville Marathon. Kicked in his short distance or middle distance sprinting for the last mile, 2 miles, where he was able to then get under the 3 hour pace, which is what they were both targeting. So those are the choices we can have. Yeah, makes sense? Because there's more. You know me, there's always more, absolutely. And I'd like to quote one of the top coaches maybe in the world. You may have heard of Jack Daniels. No, not the whiskey. He is a formidable coach. You can look him up on the old YouTubes or whatever, but I remember a quote from him because he was asked by a lot of people, and it is often the number one question: what pace do I go at? What race pace do I do at marathon? And he had a good breakdown where he said for every 1 minute that you gain in the first half, you will lose 2 minutes in the second half, which probably explains why about 85%, 80 to 85%, if not more, of those who run a marathon positive split. So they finish their second half slower than their first half. And that's based on going too quick. When he says a minute gained, you know, you hear some people say, oh, I banked this time in the first half. There's no banking in a marathon race, yeah? You do what your fitness allows you to do. So if you're going a minute too quick based on that, you're going to lose time in the second half. But the key thing that I would say, whatever Jack Daniels may say, or whatever anyone else may say, it's my key thing to you is don't stress about it. Don't worry, especially if it's your first marathon. I would rather go out slow and easy and enjoy it. Something that maybe I wished I'd done in my first marathon, because from about mile 12 I was suffering, and yeah, I was going way too quick because I had no idea what I was doing at all, and hadn't learnt enough. And hopefully this has helped you in some way to learn and enjoy your first marathon or subsequent marathons, which I gather some people still do basic errors after about 5, 10, 20 marathons, and they still keep repeating the errors. But hey, maybe they haven't seen this video yet, so share it with everybody that you know, yeah? So that is it from me, week 14, that last big long run. We've come a long way, haven't we, since Christmas Day? So be sure to, as I said, having shared this with all that you know, next week we'll be talking about taper time, because it is probably one of the most crucial and most difficult parts of the training that people often, myself included, we don't get right. So we've done all the work. Enjoy this last week of what I call heavy load, the last long run. And let's look forward to taper time, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below how you're getting on with your training. Yeah, it's a bit blowy here. Hopefully the sound is recorded good, because I've got my little dead cat, I think they call it, the sound people, on there. So see you all soon, because right now, today, whilst you're watching this, I have the Droitwich Half Marathon, which is another story. Let's see you soon. Take care, guys. Love you all. Bye bye bye.